Video games is one of the newest forms of entertainment that has taken this world by storm. From the simplistic game of Pong to the jaw-dropping visuals of Crysis 3. Video games have evolved into something amazing, and what's really intriguing about them is the amount of emotion that they can control within you. You can feel your blood run cold, your heart race, and your fingers shaking on the trigger as you survive in dead space.
Isaac, can you hear me? Dana, I found Isaac Clarke. Repeat, I have him.
Great work, Franco. Be careful. He's been out a long time.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Good. Steady. We gotta get you out of this straitjacket. Where am I? Alright, I know you're confused right now. I can explain everything, but you gotta trust me, okay? Listen, you're in terrible danger.
You will feel righteous anger and unrelenting hate as you rip and tear demons in half with your bare hands in Doom 2016. And you will laugh hysterically to the goofy dialogue provided by the characters in Borderlands.
Listen carefully, mouth breathers of the world. This is Patricia Tanis, and I have found another vault. As you may know, the opening of the first vault 5 years ago triggered a chain reaction that revealed more vaults on Pandora.
Boring! You don't want to hear about that, Vault Hunter! You want to hear about loot and packs and explosions! I'm Torg, and I'm here to ask you one question, and one question only. Explosions?
Get off this echo frequency, you protein-guzzling buffoon! I'm trying to convey...
That sentence had too many syllables! Apologize!
As I was saying, I've discovered that this new vault is buried in the center of a large crater and will only open, and I quote, once the champion of Pandora feeds it the blood of the ultimate coward.
We at the Torg Corporation sincerely believe this is fucking awesome! It's so awesome that we're gonna set up a tournament to find us #1 badass. If you want in, come to where the vault is buried. In the badass crater of badassitude!
That's not what the area is called!
Badass crater, badassitude!
And you would think these games are destined to become better with more content and more interesting things to do, right? Well, you are wrong. Completely wrong. Welcome to modern day gaming, everyone. It's foul and littered with companies with corrupt and greedy motivations. It's leading to something that's not very promising, and the sad part about it is that most players are too blind to even see what's coming. When you purchase a video game, you expect these things out of it. Number 1, hours of fun gameplay with a sense of completion. Number 2, a polished optimization for all ports. Number 3, a polished performance of the game itself. And finally, number 4, a full experience for the game. This is what makes a good game, a full experience. And most AAA games did this till about the time in between 2009 and 2012. Through these years, the industry decided to try something new. Companies like Ubisoft, Activision, and EA wanted to pump out more games in a shorter amount of time, and they wanted to make sure that these games that they released were going to be successful. What they did was pure genius, but also very wrong. They would get their developers to make a game, but to not complete it. Most of the game is there, but is missing a decent amount of content. Now, since the game is not supposed to be complete, that means the developers are able to make it in a much faster manner. And what the publishers do to finish the game is to release the other content that would complete the game after the release of the real game with another price. The MSRP for most video games is about 60 United States dollars. And now they're making you pay for even more for the complete experience. This started the DLC craze. More and more companies fell in line and were starting to pump out incomplete games, and the content that would finish it, they would sell as DLC. A few good examples would be Call of Duty, Battlefield, Mass Effect, Assassin's Creed, and Destiny. Oh, and that's just the start. See, during this time, smartphones became very popular, and with smartphones, people were making games for them. Most of these games were relatively free or very cheap, and how people would make their money on these games is by including these things called microtransactions. Microtransactions allowed you to trade real-world money for stuff that you can get into the game. It only got worse when AAA market games such as Dead Space, Call of Duty, and Battlefield began to introduce them in the year of 2013 to 2014. Now instead of doing this, I have to sit here and do this. Whew, well, good thing I'm a Halo fan too, so I don't have to deal with this crap. So let me just boot up Halo 5 real quick, and I'll just go ahead and skip these.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
Yep, that's right. Every single game, every single franchise nowadays has these microtransactions. It doesn't matter what game it is not safe. It has them. Take a nice long look at this picture and realize how many games are right in front of you. This took the Actman hours to complete, but just look at every single individual game that has these microtransactions and how quickly it has spread within the past couple of years. And to be completely honest with you, this is total garbage compared to what it used to be. The way you would get new stuff in the old Halo games was actually very simple. All you had to do is just kill stuff, practically just play the game. And when you would complete the games, you would be rewarded with in-game credits. And with these credits, you can go to the armory and select the armors that you would like to unlock using these credits. But nope, that's not the way it is anymore. Now, since we have these microtransactions, we don't even get to buy the things we want. We have to sit there and buy these, quote, loot boxes that are basically just random number generators, and we just have to get lucky to get the stuff that we want. These are just some of the reasons why gamers hate microtransactions. They're just micro-gambling systems implemented into games by the publishers against the developer's will, just in the sake for money. It's there to manipulate you, it's there to steal your money, it completely destroys some creativity out of video games, and it can absolutely ruin franchises. An example of that would be Visceral Games. They were shut down by their publisher EA after the release of Dead Space 3. Dead Space 3 was very poorly received by fans because of its implementation of microtransactions. It completely ruined the game by ruining the horror element because you can just buy supplies with real-world money. You remember the 4 things that I talked about at the beginning of this video? The 4 things to expect when you buy a video game? Microtransactions and DLCs ruin 3 of these 4 things every single time they're implemented into a game. First off, it's not fun when you have to sit there and spend real-world money on something for a video game. Secondly, since these games are like half-baked and then spat out by the publishers, they're bound to have glitches and bugs that can render the game unplayable. Point in case is Battlefield 4. it was completely unplayable when it came out because of all the netcode errors it had. And lastly, since these developers and publishers are taking content out of the game on initial release, you're not getting a full experience for the game. You have to sit there and go around another paywall just to have the full game. So please, help us gamers that want these microtransactions and DLCs out of their games. We want games to be full and to have complete experiences that we can have and share with each other. Well, that's all I got. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Sir Gasmask out.